Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section. She call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Look on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I let gang back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Never Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, is somebody hurt? Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night with Shade. She say what she want and laughs all day. Never on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Never on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shades 2, she back again.
It's late night with Shade.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Welcome to Shades 2 Late Night Owls Talk Time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Guys, if you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Also, hype this up, the video up, and leave a comment. Thank you, guys. And if you want to show additional support for this channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, Cash App donation at $Shades2, or copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. Thank you, guys. Welcome to everyone in the bushes, everyone who watched this in the replay. Over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be. And let's go ahead and get started. Hope you guys had a beautiful Friday. Happy and blessed Saturday. And we are getting ready to get started with the slide. Y'all, tonight we're going to be talking about Karmelo Anthony, his life in prison, and some other things concerning him. We're going to also talk about two other people tonight. The first person we are going to talk about is Tonae. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Tonae Nicole Miller. Okay. Let me give you guys her story. And let me put my music on first before we start off with that first. And we're going to put everything on because it's too quiet. Too quiet for me. The copyright disclaimer is scrolling across that screen, and the entire copyright disclaimer is in my bio of my channel. Okay, you guys? All right. So anyway, the first story we are going to talk about tonight is going to be about, I think her name is Tonae. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think. Tonae Nicole Miller. Okay, maybe I'll just call her by her middle name. Anyway, 27-year-old Tonae Nicole Miller of Flint, Michigan, was found hanging from a tree in Grand Cherry Park in Miami on June the 18th, 2026. I thought I put her name up there the first time. What happened? Oh, okay, it's on the timer. Hold on, let me just change this real quick, you guys. Let me hide that and take the timer off. Oh, I can see. Okay, there you go. So like I said, she was found Hanging from a tree in Grand Cherry Park in Miami on June the 18th, 2026. CBS reporter Tanya Francis reported the news in a video on her Instagram account. Miller had reportedly come to Miami to celebrate June 10th, as stated in a video by My Alamis and reposted by the official Black Lives Matter Instagram account. Her unaliving was ruled an apparent S-word, according to Francis, who says she contacted the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office on June the 22nd. Francis said that no foul play was suspected. There have been no reports online of a homicide investigation. Now, protocol for ruling a unaliving as S-word is a legal process conducted by a medical examiner. According to legalclarity.org, police are required to investigate all reported I'm talking about taking your own life, okay? We can't say that word here, the S word. Anyway, police are required to investigate all reported S's to officially establish the circumstances surrounding the unaliving. Now, according to Florida statutes, a medical examiner or coroner cannot officially rule a unaliving as a S word before completing their full investigation and issuing a formal report. However, as of the time of the ruling, the medical examiner's report is still pending, according to the Miami-Dade County's medical examiner's database. Anyway, this story has garnered community attention through social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the hashtag Justice for Tone. Now, according to the Miami-Dade County Criminal Justice Online Case Search, Miller had a history of arrest in Miami and was charged with criminal mischief, battery, trespassing on property after warning, and resisting an officer without violence. Her arrest date happened on February 14, 2025. Some social media users have speculated that her unaliving is related to a previous criminal record. So let's see exactly what's going on here with this story. Hold on. Let me turn this down just a little bit. Okay. So first and foremost, it's kind of odd how we get so many stories of Black people magically taking their own lives by hanging themselves. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that, because like I said, YouTube, you can't say certain words, and doing a live and trying to replace these words with something that YouTube won't trip out about is a hot ass mess. So like I said, I find it very odd. I find that to be very odd. Okay, point blank. Last year, I think that was last year, almost 2 years ago actually, we had another case that we went over. Javion McGee, who they claim also did that to himself. And I actually covered that case, and everything that we looked at and uncovered, it just does not seem like he would have done that. Okay. And it seemed like someone else did this to him. And what about the trucker, the black trucker who was found the same way? And out here in Cali, a young guy did the same thing right in front of a government building. So like I said, I find it very strange that all these black people, young black people, are taking their own life. And by, the H word. And when you go research these people, you look up their families, you listen to what their families are saying, you look at these people's lives and everything, they don't have no type of indication. There's no indications there that they are unhappy and they want to end their lives. I'm going to go over here. Yeah, JBI. I'm going to go over here and look at some TikTok, pull up some TikTok videos for you guys so we can hear what people are saying about this case. Okay, let me go ahead and go to this over here. Hold on, y'all. Let me tell y'all straight before y'all come over here. I say it every night, and I'll say it again tonight because I really don't got time to be playing with you guys, okay? The thing is, if you're going to come over here and act like you got some dead sense. I hope you guys are grown, okay? So you need to act like it when you come over here because if you come over here acting stupid, you will get banned, okay? I'll do it personally, okay? Because I don't got time for all that foolishness that y'all come over here doing because y'all don't like what's being said. If you don't like what's being said, don't watch the damn live. It's just that simple, all right? Point blank. Now let's go ahead and pull up this video so we can hear what they are saying about this case right here. Now, a lot of people think that this has something to do with her arrest. I don't know for sure, but we are going to, look at this real quick. Right, no history of mental illness or anything. Now, I know for sure in this case, something was done to this dude right here. I know for sure. Because when we look at everything, it just does not add up. And they just covered that story up, and they know they did. Okay, point blank. So let's go over here and do this real quick. They love to cover up stuff. They really do. And while y'all black people are sitting up on YouTube and other social media platforms tearing each other down over foolishness, you need to be looking at all this stuff because you never know when your child, your family members may be one of those persons that you find HUNG from a tree or wherever, okay, on everything. Now, like I said, I don't know if I pronounced her name right, but we're gonna first let's look at any updates they have on this case. And let me turn that music completely off. And and the sad thing about it too is that they cover up this stuff so well that sometimes even the family members give up, okay, and just accept whatever they say. So let's first look at hers right here. We can't. When they play this music, I don't know why people love to play this loud ass music. So let's see what else we can look. Let's hopefully find somebody that's not got music on and stuff. Let me take the update off because I just want to hear about it versus hearing this damn music and stuff. Cannot do these videos without having damn music on every video. We got to stop doing that, you guys. We just got to. You can't even hear the video if you're gonna play music the whole entire time. So let's look at her talk about it. Damn.
My question of the day: what happened to Tonia Nicole Miller in Miami-Dade County? And don't tell me she offed herself. She was found hanging from a tree. And that does not happen to young Black women. Do better, Miami-Dade police.
Yeah, I haven't heard of many stories where Black women have done that to themselves. I just haven't. And lately, it's starting to be a habit with Black young people. Period. Let's see what else they got here.
So there is an update in the Tennille Nicole Miller case, and listen to what the sheriff had to say. So the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office understands that the death of Tennille Miller has generated concerns within the community and extends its condolences to her family as they navigate this tragic loss. Ms. Miller was discovered on Thursday, June 18, 2026 at approximately 6:20 a.m. As with all deaths investigations, MDSO detectives in collaboration with the Miami-Dade Medical Examiner conducted a thorough investigation examining the scene, evidence, and circumstances surrounding the incident. Ms. Miller was found with all her personal property, and the investigation found no evidence.
About it, just think like this. If someone did this, you know what I'm saying, and want to cover this up and make it appear as if she unalived herself, why would her personal property be taken? Okay. And of course they would find evidence of no foul play. I mean, honestly, this is how they find all of these Black people, when they are found angry from something. Just like with Javion McGee, I think they say he was like sitting like down by in front of the tree. I can't remember exactly, with the rope still basically around his neck or somewhere in that vicinity. Okay. And like with her, Javion had no history of any type of mental illness. Javion didn't even have a criminal record or anything. Nothing. He was a good dude. I think he had just started that trucking job not long before he was unalive. Okay. He was doing good, getting ready to make some changes. Like I think he was thinking about getting a house and things of that nature. He was doing a lot of stuff. So there's no way he just would have all of a sudden decide to end his life, because he didn't display any signs of unhappiness or anything. He was even talking about going to visit his mom. So again, it's just kind of weird how all of these young Black people are hanging themselves, committing the S word. And I just don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? At all. And then it's always the same thing. No foul play. Anything. And then it said no foul play, which is consistent with a S. What you said, let's see. Right, his dad said he was a site to my Javion's dad. So there's no way, I don't think he unalived himself. Right, that's what I just said. Just because nothing was taken, it doesn't mean that, everything, nothing happened cray to her or anything. And if it was something dealing with her getting arrested back in 2025, exactly why would someone want to unalive her because of that? What happened with that arrest? Okay, let me see what else other people are saying. Maybe her family. Let's see if her family is going to come up. Let's see. Because these people in this music, man, they cannot do videos without playing music loud. Let's see if this one is not. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, so what we're not going to do is skate past the fact that they found a 27-year-old African American female
So that's her.
from a tree on Juneteenth in Florida. This young
and then that itself is weird. On June 10th, just like they decided to release Carmelo that surveillance video, I believe, the same day. And I think when people do stuff like this, they're giving out, you know, they're giving out signals or whatever you want to call it. They're making a statement, in other words, like a statement that some people won't catch, but some people will.
That you see here is 27-year-old Tania Nicole Miller. She's from Michigan, and she was found on Juneteenth at the Gwen Cherry Park hanging from a tree. Now, that is in the Gladeview, Florida area, if you are not familiar with it. Ask me how much news coverage has been done on this. Zero. Not a single news station picked this story up. I found out about this on Facebook, and the family is asking for answers. They have tagged multiple news stations in the post that I've seen on Facebook, and I haven't seen anybody post anything yet. They have questions and they deserve answers. There is
Let me just say this: black young girls are not hanging themselves from a tree. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? This is wrong. Then on the date, y'all, the 19th. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
on
let me just say
Juneteenth.
this, okay? Y'all need to be careful. Watch our surroundings. Just overwatch your surroundings,
Right.
because I believe that they snatching people up and they doing things to them that they don't have no business of doing. And the news should be on this. You know what I'm saying? This should be on a lot of news stations, and it's not. So they're covering things up or they don't want to talk about it. But they should be telling people to look out, watch their surroundings, to be careful, be safe. So I don't know what else I can say. This is wrong. It's hurtful. This is somebody's child,
Yeah.
somebody's baby. She did not do this to herself. This was done to her. And it was evil and it was mean and it was unnecessary. And I'm definitely praying for her family. Ladies, gentlemen, I don't care. Boys and girls, black people, please watch your surroundings because something is definitely going on out there. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed to J Lo.
Okay. 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 So let's go over here and finish this discussion over here. Let me stop sharing this real quick. Okay, hold on, you guys. Hold on. So a lot of people do think that this young lady, Toné, was lynched from a tree after traveling to Miami to celebrate Juneteenth. Okay. However, they claim this is unproven. Okay. But a lot of people think that she was. And, honestly, if someone did do this, okay, let's keep it real, and they don't want you to really know, they're going to cover it up. Okay. And of course, they're going to tell you it's unproven because they are good at covering stuff up, especially if anybody in law enforcement is involved or people who are friends of people who are in law enforcement. You said Terry Miller said, and thank you for being here with Wet Seal TV. You said Terry Miller said during the June 26th news conference that her sister had been in Miami since February 2026. Okay. Now, at another news conference, Miller's sister Terry rejected the authorities' conclusion because I know she knows her sister. Now, the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP said on June the 26th, Miller had been found hanging from a tree. The sheriff's office had not included this detail in its statement on Miller's unaliving 2 days earlier, though many online claims did. Now, it was unclear if Miller's next of kin would seek an independent autopsy because the claim that Miller passed on by lynching was unproven. We leave this claim unrated. Now, again, the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office said in a statement on June the 24th that Miller's body was discovered early on June the 18th. An investigation by the Sheriff's Office and the county medical examiner found no evidence of foul play, but rather that the circumstances of Miller's unaliving were consistent with the S word. So, again, if some people think that law enforcement has something to do with this, or KKK or somebody like that, okay, and they believe that this was covered up, because many people say it's very rare that a Black young lady would actually commit the S word and use H as a method for doing it. So all I can say is that I hope that her parents, her family, just keep on, being persistent with doing stuff to find out if this is the case. If she really did commit the S word, they should definitely get an independent autopsy report, have it conducted, and then get a report and go from there. Because you can't, if you know you're a child, right, and you know that they're not unhappy, they're not depressed, they're not thinking about anything dealing with ending their life, you got to keep on, checking everything out just to make sure. You can't give up. You got to keep on doing stuff to make sure. And the first thing is getting an independent autopsy done so you can make sure. We know. So you can make sure S is the case. Because we're going to keep it real. Sometimes, people have underlying issues and no one knows about it when they do things to themselves without anybody even knowing or even thinking that they would do anything, okay? But this is not the case with everyone, okay? And like I said, there's been so many cases where we've been hearing about young Black people, men and women, young women and men, unaliving themselves by hanging themselves from a tree or somewhere else. In Javion McGee's case, I really feel like he was unalived, okay, by someone else, by a group of people. I mean, the whole story does not add up. The way they handled that case does not add up. The witnesses' stories do not add up. It's just a whole bunch of foolishness. Okay, so I don't believe he committed the S word at all. I don't care what those police there say. Okay, I don't believe it. You said she had some run-ins with law enforcement in the past, right? We read that already. But that doesn't mean that you still want to go out there and unalive yourself, okay? It doesn't mean that you're going to go and, unalive yourself, point blank. And then why do it right before June 10th? I mean, to me, it sounds like somebody trying to make a statement, and I just don't believe it was her. She could have did that. If she wanted to unalive herself, she could have did it anytime. Okay, she could have did it anytime. Anytime. She could have did it on MLK birthday, just many different times. Why wait until that particular day? And we also need to look at who she was hanging around with. What did she do all that day, maybe, the week before? All that stuff needs to be looked into. Read all her information, her diary if she has one or whatever. Look at all her messages, everything. We know he did not commit the S word. He didn't do that. They did that to him and made it look like a S word. Okay, they made it look like that. So this is the girl's actual picture right here. That other lady, I don't know if that was her. I'm sure these people on TikTok, he posted all types of stuff. This is her picture. Right here, let me show you guys. Let me hold on, y'all. "27 years old." So let me show y'all real quick. This is her right here. Okay. So we will be staying on top of this, keeping you guys updated on this story just to see how this plays out. Like I said, the family got to stay persistent and, trying to figure out and make sure if she actually committed this. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing they need to do is definitely get another autopsy done on this young lady, just to make sure. All right? So anyway, my prayers are extended out to her family, to her friends, and my condolences are extended out to them as well. And that she rest in peace. 27 years old. Okay, so the next story I want to tell you guys about before we get into Karmelo is this other case. Okay, it's a case that I actually kind of talked about, I think, the other day. Let me go to the case real quick. Okay, so this one right here, hold on. Let me just put this up here real quick. You said, I noticed a medical journal article called Trans S Among Black Women in the U.S. 1999-2020. They definitely probably got, a medical journal with all this stuff in it. But let me tell you something. If some of these people are not doing it to themselves, and just say the people who write these articles do not know that someone is doing it to them, it's going to always look like, the S rate in Black women is going up. Because a lot of times these people don't know that someone may have did it to them. Just like with Javion, he's a man, but still, just like with Javion McGee's case, if you look from the outside, and you look in, right, outside looking in, you would think he just basically committed the S word. But if you're actually looking at that case and reading all the information and looking at his Walmart video and the trucks and all this stuff, you will probably kind of be thinking to yourself, something is up with this. There's no way this young man walked into the little wooded area and never came back, and they found him the next day or later on that day unalive, sitting upright at the base of a tree. And this dude did not have any mental health issues, no depression, no nothing. He was planning what he was going to do once he got done with that delivery. He was excited about his trucking job and everything, the paychecks, everything. So I don't believe he offed himself. I believe something happened when he was doing a delivery, while he was waiting to do a delivery. And I believe a group of men, white men, unalived him. Okay? And I believe the sheriff and all of them, and I think that sheriff, right, Jermaine, is Black, but he was related to some of those people, okay? And I believe all of them played a role in that and covered it up, period. So to the medical journal, they won't know, the underlying information like that. They won't know that they could have possibly been on the line. They're just going to go by the data there that shows that these Black women are committing the S word. Okay? It doesn't mean that all of them actually did that to themselves. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about, you guys, is this little Erda trial. Okay? Let me put that up there. You said, rest in peace, Austin. Thank you, Jesus. Judge Roach and the jury. Okay. Yeah, and it wasn't worth it. It was not worth it. In racially motivated illness, perpetrators almost never try to make it look like an S word. Listen, some do though, okay? With Seal TV, some do. You say yes, the sheriff is related to the family that owned the shop. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and go to this next case, like I just said. Hold on, let me put this up here. And like I said, I will be updating you on that right there too. So this is that case I was kind of talking about the other day. Okay. I guess we can write the word on the screen, okay? Because, you know, YouTube be tripping out. You know what I'm saying? They be tripping. It didn't change yet. Let me hide that and then bring it back out. There you go. So let's see here. I want to go to what happened, okay? Not the actual case. Hold on, let me look at this real quick. Okay, this is a different one right here. I thought there was the other one that I was talking about the other day. Anyway, this little murder happened in 2024, okay? Let's see. I don't want to hear about the case. I just want to let y'all know what happened. Let me go ahead and look his case up all the way. I mean, not his case, but it's what happened. Alec Adamson. Let's see. So the reason why we're telling you guys about this case is because this is another example how the justice system deals with similar situations or just the act of murder differently depending on the person who did it, their skin tone. Okay? So let's see here. Let me look at the story, what happened. Gosh. And Jermaine, this time send me exactly what happened. Hold on, y'all. So anyway, hold on. So they claim that a DRUG deal led to a Italy shooting in Little Elm earlier this year. And this is Little Elm, Texas, okay? Anyway, 17-year-olds Mason Triller, I guess that's how you pronounce his last name, and Alec Adamson from Prosper are facing murder charges in the January the 3rd shooting. Now, according to an arrest affidavit, witnesses told police 19-year-old David Pleasant went to a playground on Paladin Place in Little Elm to buy weed and mushrooms when he was shot in the back of the head. Surveillance video in the area captured the shooting. Investigators say it shows Pleasant walking from the playground to a gray Volkswagen. He is then seen running from the car. Now, according to court documents, The driver of the car gets out of the car in Pew Pew Pleasant. Shriller was identified by police through an Instagram account that was used to facilitate the DD in audio from the surveillance video. Police located the Volkswagen outside a house in Prosper when they spotted someone matching Shriller's description getting into a black truck. When police tried to stop the truck, it led them on a chase before crashing at an intersection several blocks away. 2 people ran from the scene on foot, but was later apprehended. Adamson was one of the people inside the car. In interview with police, Shriller and Adamson both told investigators they were in the car attempting to sell, drugs to Pleasant when he began to hit them. They said Adamson then pulled a gun out of his jacket and opened fire, according to court documents. Anyway, Adamson and Shriller are both charged with murder under the Texas law of parties. So anyway, let's go ahead and go on up to the actual case. Hold on. So let me think. So it was a DD deal going on, right? He went to the car to buy it. So what happened between that time? He said that the other guy said that Pleasant, I believe, hit him upside the head, right? Right, Jermaine? And then he took off running. That's what I get from this. And the 2 DD dudes who were selling that, one of them, I guess, shot Pleasant in the back of his head. Okay. So mind you, the 2 dudes that were selling are white, and the dude that was running was black. Okay. Now let's go back. Let's go back to the case. I'm going to pull it up on TikTok too, just in case I'm not explaining it all the way 100%, so you can hear other, articles of it and stuff. So anyway, this dude pleaded not guilty to murder. Okay. His defense team argues that the Pew Pew happened under duress. Now, Alec he faces a first-degree murder charge in the unaliving of 19-year-old David Pleasant near a Little Elm neighborhood in Park on February 3rd, 2023. Alec could face 5 to 99 years or life in prison if convicted as charged. A Denton County jury was impaneled Monday and began to hear evidence Tuesday. This included state testimony from Mason Shriller, also 19, a high school friend of Alec, who was present for the pew-pewing. Mason was arrested in connection with the pew-pew in 2024, but only Alec is being tried. So Alec is represented by sister-brother defense attorneys Sarah and George Rowland. In opening statements, Sarah Rowland argued that Pleasant was attempting to strong-arm rob Alec Adamson during a DD in the defendant's car. She argued that David was significantly overpowering Adamson in Shriller, and that Adamson fired a gun inside the car to feed off the attack. But I thought they just said that he was running and they ran behind him and then they shot him in the back of the head. Anyway, they said there is video footage of Adamson standing outside the car and extending his arm. Sarah Rowland argued there is no visible recoil or indications that he fired the gun outside the car. Prosecutors Paul Heimeke and Lauren Marshall, however, argue there is no evidence the unnecessary and senseless pursuing happened inside Adamson's vehicle. Pleasant was already running away, and any threat to Adamson was not immediately happening when he fired the you-know-what, the prosecutors argued. On February the 3rd, 2023, after 1 p.m., Little Elm police were dispatched to a you-know-what call near Night Trail and Palladium Place in the Kings Crossing neighborhood. The first two officers to arrive found Pleasant lying at the bottom of a set of stairs on the Cord Park Trail leading from Palladium Place to Kings Crossing Park. He had an apparent you-know-what wound to the back of his head, but was still alive. Little Elm firefighter paramedic Austin Hester testified that Pleasant was still breathing at the scene, but not sufficiently enough to sustain life. Medics transported Pleasant to a hospital, intubating him along the way. He later passed on at the hospital. Then patrol officer Ramsey Shyatt testified to some of the initial investigation on the scene. A girl who identified herself to the police as Pleasant's girlfriend was by Pleasant's side, trying to, arouse him when officers had first arrived. A police affidavit states she was 16 years old. Okay, let me see what this dude's first name is. Ramsey testified that the girl told officers she had contacted someone named Shirley through IG to purchase, weed. This led officers to the names of then 17-year-old Shirley and Adamson. Detectives began to surveil their homes, which were located on neighboring streets, Evening Sun Drive and Trailside Drive and Prosper. A police affidavit states that Adamson left his home on Evening Sun Drive in another friend's car. Detectives attempted to stop the car, which began to evade but crashed a few blocks away. Detectives took Adamson into custody. Shriller, who had been at Adamson's home, was arrested later when he and Adamson's mother went to the crash scene. Little Elm's police arrested both Adamson and Shriller on suspicion of murder, alleging that based on surveillance footage, Adamson was the shooter. Surveillance video footage from a house south of the park shows Adamson's car pull up to the cul-de-sac with the front of the vehicle facing west on Palladium Place. The video shows Pleasant walking up from the park to the passenger side of the car. A couple of minutes pass and any interactions going on inside the car are not visible on the video. Then Pleasant is seen running north away from the car. An individual whom witnesses identify as Adamson steps out of the front driver's door, moves closer to the rear driver's side, and extends an arm in the direction of the park stairs, then gets back in and drives off. So it sounds like he got out that car and started pursuing. On behalf of the state, Shriller testified to his account of the pursuing as well as Adamson's alleged DD. Shriller told the jury that he and Adamson met at Prosper High School their junior year. They hung out nearly every day, even when Shriller was no longer attending school. They haven't spoken since the, he said, the pursuing. Shriller stopped attending school in October 2022 after consuming what he believed at the time was, we can't say these, online, so it's PRCOCT, but actually contained the other one, FENTANYL. The incident rendered him unable to speak or walk for some time, he said. Shriller told the jury that he still experiences confusion, memory loss, and other symptoms due to brain damage from the OD. Though this fact was not presented Tuesday, the Erder affidavit states that Shriller OD'd at Adamson's house. The jury did hear Shriller testify that Adamson did not sell the, the PERCOCET with FENTANYL in general, did not sell PERCOCET. Rather, Shriller testified Adamson only sold weed in mushrooms. Shriller told the jury he would help advertise Adamson DD in exchange for free tattoos. Adamson collected all the money from all of his DD, and Shriller never received any money, according to Shriller's testimony. Adamson asked Shriller to post on Instagram on February 3rd, 2023, advertising the DRUGS, according to Shriller. Shriller testified that a girl whom he said Adamson had previously supplied with that candy stuff messaged him wanting to buy about $200 worth of weed in mushrooms. He said she asked them to meet in the area where the pew happened. Adamson drove his dark-colored car with Shriller in the passenger seat, and that's according to Shriller when he testified. When they arrived at the cul-de-sac near the park, the girl, Shriller testified, told them she was sending her brother to go meet them. Shriller said a guy named Pleasant walked up a hill from the park to Adamson's car, opened the back passenger side door, and got into the center of the back seat. Pleasant, Shriller said, asked them if his sister had electronically sent the money yet. Shriller testified that Adamson had not received any money. Shriller told the jury that Pleasant kept asking to hold the candy, the DRUGS. Adamson would only show the candy but not hand them over to Pleasant until he received the money. And that's according to Shriller's testimony. For less than a minute, Shriller testified Adamson and Pleasant went back and forth about holding the DRUGS in the payment. Suddenly, Shriller testified Pleasant reached around and placed Adamson in a chokehold with one arm and began punching Shriller in the head. When Adamson began reaching into his pocket, Shriller testified Pleasant fled out the black passenger side door and ran diagonally away from the rear of the vehicle down the park steps. Shriller said he watched Adamson step out from the driver's seat, heard 2 G shots fired, and then saw Pleasant drop near the bottom of the stairs. Now I'm going to stop right there, because even though the dude testified that Pleasant put the other dude, Adamson, in a chokehold, right, and started punching him, once that dude, Pleasant, got out of the car and started running away, there was no need for Adamson to get out the car and start pew-pewing this kid, okay? Anyway, Shriller said he watched Adamson step out from the driver's seat, heard 2 pew-pew fired, and then saw Pleasant drop near the bottom of the stairs. He testified that Adamson got back in the car and drove off back toward Prosper, asking Shriller if he did the right thing. No, you didn't. Under cross-examination, Shriller testified that Pleasant was overpowering himself in Adamson. Sarah Rowland's question pointed out that the pair were both very tall and thin, while she said Pleasant was more muscular. So they can use this in this trial, saying that the 2 white dudes were very tall and thin, and Pleasant was more muscular. Okay, they can use that in that defense, okay? But in Karmelo's case, they won't use it. Everybody said, oh, he could have fought 2 dudes. So what? Hunter and Austin are way bigger than him. But you can use it in this case right here. And you guys don't see any unfairness here. Right. And that's another thing. Why isn't anyone talking about this case? Anyway, testimony does indicate that Shriller sustained a concussion for being punched. He said he cannot remember some details of the incident because of this and his existing brain damage from the OD. However, upon Himmickey's questioning, Shriller testified that he did not think his life was in danger during the incident. And the thing about it, just put it like this, even if if he thought that his life was in danger, once that kid got out of the car and started running, why would you start pew-pewing? The person is running away. He's running away. Shriller testified that he did not think Adamson was justified in pew-pewing Pleasant, that the incident should not have escalated beyond a fistfight at most, and Pleasant was already fleeing when Adamson pew-pewed him. Now remember, Shriller is his so-called friend. So Shriller said he and Adamson went to Shriller's house and then Adamson's house, where Adamson wiped down his car to get rid of any fingerprints. So he's concealing, evidence right there, wiping his car down. He ran from the scene and everything. If y'all don't see that racism in the justice system is something that is happening, something is wrong with y'all. Now, they just used the fact that these two white boys were thin, okay? But Pleasant was muscular, meaning that since he was so much bigger, he could make them fear for their lives. And I guess they try to condone, that's why he got out the car and started pew-pewing. But yet, when people are saying Karmelo is only 150 pounds, maybe, but yet Austin and Hunter were more than like 200 and something pounds a piece, and it was two of them, and y'all, he can fight them. He can fight those two. All they're gonna do is probably just push him out the damn tent, pull him out the tent, and he should be okay. You guys are hypocrites, okay? Because the thing is, this dude right here, Adamson, he did not have no reason to start pew-pewing this kid when that kid got out of the car and ran. They were doing something illegal anyway, selling, meeting, and trying to buy something. So let's see what happened. I'm not going to read all of this stuff. Let's see. And then Shriller was on probation. Hold on. Let's see. No, Shriller, they said, violated the condition of his bond for the murder charge, and he was arrested on assault charge out of Collin County. He pleaded guilty to and was convicted of Class A misdemeanor assault in December 2024. This is a lot of stuff here. This case right here is a hot ass mess, period. Okay. Let me see what else they got here. And they were friends. So Shriller claimed that he was influenced by, drugs, okay? So this stupid ass dude, Shriller, gets on social media holding firearms when and knowing that probably violated his bond. That is cray. Now, yeah, he violated the condition of his bond. Shriller and the other dude, Adamson, not good kids. Okay, let's keep it real. Selling DRUGS, doing the most, taking DRUGS, doing the most. Okay, he out here being a DD. Pleasant, I don't know what Pleasant was trying to do, if he was actually trying to get the stuff without paying for him. But once he got out of that car and started running, there was no need for Adamson to get out of his car and start peopling this kid. Period. There was no need for that. Even his friend Shriller said he shouldn't have done that. And then they try to use the size thing. It's okay for this case, but it's not okay for Karmelo Anthony's case. I didn't watch it. I don't really be watching all these other content creators. And let me finish. Hold on. You said this kid was sentenced to 4 years. 4 years. He was up for 5 to 99 years. And he only got 4 years after he cold-blooded murdered this other kid. Okay? And then he got time served, so he's eligible for parole. But I don't hear nobody saying anything about this, but yet y'all want to sit up here and say it's fair for Karmelo Anthony to get 35 years. Or is it 36? I think it was 35 years. 1770s, it's 35 years. Okay? But y'all say it's fair for him to get 35 years, right? And you clearly know in this case right here, just from the little stuff that I read, that this kid, because all of them were kids, this kid, Adamson, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, this kid got out the car and started pew-pewing this other kid who was running. And then they try to use the excuse that since Pleasant, the dude who was running, is muscular and bigger, that made the two white kids who are thinner scared. I don't think so. Because if you are that scary, I don't think you would be a DD. Because people know if you sell that, you're going to be around all types of people. And you may come in contact with a person who tries not to pay you, okay, and tries to take the stuff and not pay you. So he was just acting like a normal DD person, okay? You try to take something from them, they're going to get out the car, and you can run all you want to. They're going to get out the car and they're going to pew-pew you, okay? Or at least try to. So the thing is, for me, it's straight up murder. It's not self-defense or anything else, manslaughter or anything else. It should have been straight up murder because the kid ran. If he would have stayed in the car and kept fighting this dude and doing the most, and the dude took out his weapon and then pew-pew him, that would be a different story. But what he did, he waited. You know what I'm saying? When the dude got out the car and started running, he got out the car and started pew-pewing. Now, how is that right? That's just like women. They get into a, say their husband or boyfriend start hitting them, like beating their butts. And they don't do anything then. They can't do anything or they just don't do anything. Then they wait until the next day to unalive him. A lot of times when they try to claim self-defense, sometimes they don't be able to use that. Now, sometimes they can use the sudden passion thing, but sometimes they can't even use that because when you use self-defense, you're supposed to use it right then and there if you think your life is in jeopardy, or, you are facing, some severe bodily harm. Now back to the case of Shriller and Adamson and Pleasant, him punching him and all that stuff. Yeah, that's some bodily harm. Okay, however, the dude got out the car and started running. He got out of the car and started running. So you don't get out of your car and you start pursuing him because he's running away from you. It'd be different if he was running to go get a pew thing himself and then he started using it. Then you don't have a choice. Then that's, you're defending yourself. So again, I just think this whole entire thing is unfair. Okay, they're using size here, but they can't. They didn't use it for Carmelo's case. That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, if he was in the car still punching him in the head and putting him in a chokehold, and then he grabbed this, and started doing that, then that maybe constitute self-defense. But if you're getting out the car, if that person's getting out the car, running from you after he hit you or whatever the case is, you don't get out the car and start pursuing. You don't do that. That's just like when I came home that time, I thought somebody had broken into my apartment and I called the police and I was like, they're in my apartment right now. I know who it is. You know what I'm saying? The police, the dispatcher told me, don't go up there. Don't go up there and see anything, because if you go up there, it's not self-defense. Okay? It's not self-defense. Mel said, there is new information coming soon proving Karmelo was attacked by more than just Austin, but he cannot talk about details surrounding that. Yeah, we already see that in that video. I don't know why some people don't see that, but we already saw in the video it's more than one person who attacked Karmelo. Okay? He was attacked by both of those boys and somebody else, and I don't know who that other boy was. All of the story is not being told. These kids are not consistent. Some of these kids are lying straight up. Let's keep it real. Now, granted, let me say this again. I think this whole entire thing could have been prevented if any one of them would have went and told the coach. Okay? Point blank. But it wasn't prevented because all of them were too busy doing too much. And until you guys see that, you're going to keep on seeing situations like Shriller, Adamson, Pleasant, Karmelo, Austin, Hunter, and other people that's been in those similar situations. We got to stop coming up with excuses and start saying what people need to hear. Okay? Point blank. Getting back to this case right here, though, I got to look at this more in detail because this is a hot ass mess. All of this stuff right here I'm reading and looking at. Shriller testifying that Pleasant was overpowering him in Adamson, which, I mean, he probably was. But where Adamson messed up at is when he got his ass out the car and started pursuing at this dude, Pleasant, while he was running. Now, they want to make sure that they noted that Shriller sustained a concussion. But I heard, and I don't know if it's true, that Karmelo Anthony has, visible bruises on him, and they edited out of pictures and stuff. I don't know how true that is. Even Shriller testified he did not think Adamson was justified in that pursuing. Then the dude ran, okay, in his car. And then he wiped down the car so, no fingerprints would be on it. So he was concealing things and all types of shit. Karmelo did not do that. Karmelo ran because them damn kids was coming after him. Let's keep it real. When they would have caught him, they would have beat the shit out of him. So of course you're gonna run. Okay? And then y'all want to act like that's not something that people do. And look at this. During Shriller's testimony, the court sometimes had to call attorneys up for hush sidebar conversations or send the jury out to determine what questions were admissible. Remember when I was telling you that the defense attorney could have done something like that, and you said he don't supposed to do that, Jermaine? I told you they can do that. I just didn't know the term for that. So Sarah Rowland made a comment in front of the jury about Shriller seeming to remember various details when the prosecution asked him questions, but not when she asked. Upon prosecutor's objection, Judge Bruce McFarlane instructed the jury to disregard that comment. You see all this bullshit. Look at this. Outside the jury's presence, the Rowlands argue that some of Shriller's statements opened the door for them to ask Shriller about things that could cause the jurors to question his credibility. They're doing everything in their power to make sure that Adamson did not get more than 4 years in prison for unaliving another person. This is a trip. Posing in pictures and shit with GUN in his hand and stuff. When he know he was out, he had a bond. Shit. That is cray, man. This whole case is a hot ass mess. So let's see what the end result. You just told us what it is. But anyway, let's see. Stuff like this kind of makes you mad, to be perfectly honest, because like I said, in this Karmelo Anthony's case, I just think they was basically unfair. I just really do believe that. Hold on, y'all. Let me check this out. So anyway, like Jermaine said, damn it. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this pop-up off. Like Jermaine said, this dude got, the hell this pop-up ad come from? I hate when I be looking at certain things because pop-up ads be everywhere. And then it covers up the story. Look at it, keeps on popping up. Let me go to this one right here. They got the case of Allison story up here too. They're doing a whole comparison. I want to look at this on TikTok. Okay. So they did a comparison with Karmelo and with this other, with Adamson, okay, back in 2023, and then Karmelo in 2025. So, like I just told y'all, Adamson unalive, the black student named last name Pleasant, right? He led police on a car chase and a foot pursuit. He was only sentenced to 4 years and served only 2. Okay? Plus, this dude was a DRUG dealer. All right? And if I recall this correctly, Shriller said that Adamson gave him some DRUGS with the F thing, with it. Okay? The F pills or whatever that shit is with it, and which caused him to OD or something like that. And it ended up giving him some type of brain damage, right? So this is what Adamson allegedly did. Okay. Now, Karmelo Anthony, he got sentenced to 35 years. Okay. They claimed he was just politely asked by Hunter, what is his name, what school he goes to, and Hunter claimed that Karmelo started getting reckless and aggressive. Their conversation started to get high intensity or whatever he said. And he said his brother came over there because his brother, watches his back or whatever the case is. And they just was asking Karmelo to leave. As a matter of fact, 15 other kids were asking him to leave. And he said he's not leaving. And he called his team ass or whatever the case is. And Karmelo said, make me leave or some shit like that. Anyway, they claim Austin just politely touched him and maybe pushed him a little bit. And then Karmelo just went in his bag and started abbing him. If y'all think I believe that shit, I don't give a damn if every witness on the planet came up and said that that gave that same story. I don't believe them. Okay? I don't. And I don't believe that happened like that. So anyway, they sat there in that damn court and did not give this kid the same attention that they gave this dude right here. And this dude, Adamson, cold-blooded, just unalived that dude who was running away and only sentenced him to 4 years. He only served 2 and he's out. Now make that make sense. And all y'all stupid ass black people who get up on y'all channels defending this bullshit, it's crazy. And I don't care if you don't like what I said. And then you wonder why racist ass white people do what they do. Because y'all asses don't even stick together. Even if you don't believe that Karmelo committed self-defense, you don't have to put down your own black people though when saying that. Because I tell you straight up, if I didn't believe he did self-defense, I would just say I don't believe it. I'm not going to put down the whole black race because one person made a mistake. And then yet you got stories like this, and y'all dodo bird asses will hear this information and think this is right. How can this Alec Adamson only get 4 years, serve only 2 out for unaliving someone in cold blood, and yet Karmelo was sitting there minding his business, wasn't messing with anyone. Eddie called him over there, and then shit pop off, and one boy gets unalived, and he gets sentenced to 35 years. When y'all can barely tell what is happening in the damn blurry ass video. Defense lawyer. I think he could have done more. I'm not a lawyer, but I think he could have done more. Point blank. How is this right? Make this make sense for real. Y'all got a lot of fucking mouth. Make this make sense. And then you got the dad and the mom up all on social media talking about shit. If I lost my child, I'm not up on social media talking about shit because I would be pissed whether my son started it or not. Let's keep it real. I'm not up on social media giving interviews. And I wouldn't give a damn if the person who unalived my son, whether my son started it or not. I don't give a damn about hearing no apologies. I don't even want to talk to them. I can honestly see why this world is in the shape that it's in. Because some of y'all are crazy as ever. And that's on everything. Now, like me and Jermaine were talking about, if I saw a video and I saw where Karmelo just took out a weapon and unalived this kid, There is no way in hell I would be supporting him at all. But I honestly don't think that kid who does not have a record, no history of mental problems, nothing. I don't think that he just went in his bag and did that. And I don't think that he felt like he had power because he had no damn knife. So when you carry your GUN, you think you got power? Because I know one thing, when I carry mine or my knife, I don't think I have power. I just think that I have it just in case. Because you know why I don't think I got power? Because other people carry GUNs and knives. And it depends on how fast I get mine and how good I am a shooter and other things come into play. And like Jermaine said, regarding the other case, nobody cares how scared you are if you are trying to pretend like you're scared once the person has ran away. Now, like I said, if the dude was still, if the dude still had him in a chokehold and was still punching him in the head, then he went in his, if he could have got in his pocket, his back pocket or whatever, and he pulled out something, he did something then, that would constitute self-defense. But that did not happen. The dude got out the car and started running. I would have let him run. The next time he come up, try to get something from me and try to act crazy, then that's when I would have beat his ass, or at least tried to. But the thing is, that's what some DDs do. If you don't pay them or you try to take stuff from them, rob them, that's what they do. So this dude want to be a DD, he should have owned up to it all the way. Yeah, I poo-poo his ass because he tried to take stuff from me and didn't pay for it. Shit. Y'all want to play hard all the way. Say what? They said that Pleasant ran. Okay, he got out the car and he ran. And then his friend Shriller, said that Pleasant got out of the car and ran. Okay, and then Adamson got out the car and extended his arm, shooting at Pleasant, and Pleasant fell. I don't think the defense said that Pleasant was unalive in a struggle in South Carolina. They said Pleasant, he said we do not know if Pleasant was not unalive. What? The thing is this right here. I'm telling you what Shriller said. Shriller said that Adamson got out of the car. His friend said that. He got out of the car and pew-pewed Pleasant as he was running. That's what he said. I can go back to that and read what he said in the witness, in the trial thing. Let me go back to that. Hold on. Let's go back to that. Because y'all know I still got the story right here. Hold on. Hold on, let me see. I'm about to type it in the other way because these damn ads is coming up every 2 seconds. Hold on. Why is this ad keep on coming up? Hold on, let me type it into the thing again. Let's see. Here it is. I hope no damn ads. So why do this ad keeps on coming up? Hold on, y'all. Let me see why this is keep on coming up. People are trying to get me to get a subscription. I don't want no damn subscription to this. On. And then it goes to the Denton Record Chronicle. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up through a different way. Hold on, let's see. Hopefully these ads don't come back up. Okay, I'm about to type this into the search bar. Hold on, y'all. Because now it's coming up. Hold on, let me type this into the search bar. Give me a minute. Shh. Copy. Okay, let me put it in the search bar now. Because they got 1,000 ads coming up. You may have to pay for that or something, because sometimes they do that. After I read it the first time, you may not can go back to it without paying for it. Let's see if I can pull it up on something else. I want to do the case because I was just reading it from the actual case. Let's see if it can come up. This damn ad thing keeps on coming up over and over again. Jermaine, don't send me no thing like this again, because this shit keeps on coming up. Let me see. Okay, let's see if I can pull it up a different way. Because Denton County thing is the only place it's coming up on. Let me see. I need to do the trial. Let me do the trial. Let's do it like this. Shit. Little M. Let me put it like this. I'm going to type it in there myself. Murder trial. Hold on, y'all, real quick. This is the same daggone thing. Hold on, let me see. See if I can pull this story up again. But in that the trial records that I was reading, it said that Shriller said that Adamson got out the car, okay, and stood outside the car and started pew-pewing at Pleasant, and Pleasant failed. Let me see if they're going to put it in this right here. If they're going to go over the trial thing part. They're comparing the cases. I'm going to read this to you guys too in a second. Let me just keep this if I can. They be trying to make you pay for every damn thing. Let's see if I can keep this real quick. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Again. I guess they only let you read this one time. These damn ads keep on coming up. I wish I would have screenshotted that, because I promise you guys I cannot go back to that page. Is that the only place you found that at Jermaine? I guess you can only look at this a couple of times before they start telling you to get that subscription and everything else. Okay, let me type it like this. Little Erna trial begins. Okay, let's see if I can get it like this. Little Erna trial begins. Let me type it in like that. Let's see if I can pull it up like this without it being. They keep on going to this dude stuff. Let's see. This is still Den Record Chronicle. Let's see. Yeah, they found him guilty of a crime, but not murder. So let's see. The thing is, I cannot open that back up, but that's what Shriller testified to. Okay, that's what his testimony consisted of. He said that the dude got outside his car and started pew-pewing at Pleasant, point blank. And you know what? Even after his conviction, of just 4 years and stuff, and then he got what 2 years served or something like that, and he out on probation or whatever the case is. Pleasant's mom still was acting respectful, even though her son was the one who got unalived. She said she would eventually forgive him, but right now, nothing about the scenario makes sense to her. And she was crying when she left the courtroom. She didn't go and say, I want you to look at me and say, I'm sorry and all this other shit. She didn't say none of that stuff. She didn't get up on in an interview and start talking about all white people and things of that nature. She didn't do any of that. So he was the jury to find him guilty of aggravated assault. So let's see what all he got real quick. Hold on, now let me look at this. Yep, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Originally on trial for first-degree murder, and he was convicted of the lesser included aggravated assault. So the jury found him guilty of a crime, but not of murder, as he was charged going into trial. It said juries might consider lesser included offenses if they feel the evidence did not fully support the offense's charge, but did not support a not guilty verdict either. Okay, because they don't know exactly what went on in that car. Just like they don't know exactly what went on underneath that tent. The jury deliberated for 3.5 hours before delivering the sentence. So he got 2 years and 1 month of jail credit. So he was eligible for parole. They wanted him to get a maximum punishment of 20 years in prison. If y'all don't see some weird shit, injustices right there, something's wrong. No, they said that happened outside. That's what Shriller, who was there in the car, he said that his friend got out the car and started pew-pewing Pleasant as he ran, and he fell down. That's what he said. He was in the car with him. Why would he lie? That's his friend. Like I said before, the whole damn thing is a hot ass mess. Let me go ahead and give y'all some comparison, because we already been on here for an hour and 33 minutes. It's already 2:53. Let's see here. So let's see, they compare both of these cases. Hold on, let's see this. Okay, so here we go. So comparing the cases, Karmelo Anthony, 17, was convicted of murder in the fatal Abby of fellow student athlete Austin Metcalf, 17, at a track meet. Anthony was taking shelter in the opposing team's tent due to the rain, and Metcalf asked him to leave. An altercation ensued, ending with Anthony Abby Metcalf Anthony was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Okay, so Pleasant's son, David Pleasant, 19, was shot and unalive by 17-year-old Alec Adamson in 2023. Adamson was convicted of a lesser charge of aggravated assault. Adamson was carrying a GUN and selling DRUGS. Witnesses said when Pleasant attempted to rob him, witnesses testified that Pleasant was fleeing when he was pew-pewed. Okay? So, again, witnesses said he was fleeing. His friend, Shirley, said that Adamson got out of the car, walked over. I don't know if he said he walked over to the passenger side or he was standing right by his driver's side or whatever. He was standing outside the car. And he pew-pewed, extended his arm out, pew-pewed Pleasant as he was running. And Pleasant fell down. He didn't say he did that inside of the car. He said he did it outside of the car. Okay? He said that inside of the car, Pleasant put, I guess, Adamson in a chokehold, if I remember this correctly. And he was punching, I guess, both of them. I don't know. Okay? And clearly when he got through doing all of that, he jumped out of the car and started running. And that was because he was trying not to pay for those DD, he was trying not to pay for the DRUGS. And so Mr. DD got out of the car and started pew-pewing. Now, I don't know what kind of shit y'all are trying to pull, but that's exactly what it says. And I just read it again. I couldn't go back to the actual trial because I guess they want you to get a subscription. I'm not getting that. But that's what it states, point blank. So it's not fair because they even allow side, what do you call that, side whatever, when they can come over there on the side of the thing and start talking and asking questions or whatever shit, whatever they said that means. But they did all of that in that courtroom along with other things that they did not allow to happen in Karmelo's case at all. Period. It's not right. So they said Adamson was given a sentence of 4 years in prison. In both cases, the race of the victim and assailant was different. Anthony is black and Metcalf was white, while Pleasant was black and Adamson is white. And Thriller is white. Now, in both cases, there were no black jurors. And Pleasant's mom did talk about the disparity between the convictions and sentencing in the two cases, as have other social media users. And he's not the only one that's been sentenced very harshly. There's a lot of black people like that, and Latino too. Okay? So the thing is, the justice system is not fair. It's not right. It's just not. Then they got the other one, Casey Allison, who was 18 when he fatally abbed fellow high school student Joe Ramirez. I think I said that right. During a fight in the bathroom. That's another story that I covered. Allison, who is white, was convicted of criminal negligent homicide and given a sentence of 10 years in prison. And if I remember the story correctly, because I did cover this, Casey and Allison went into the restroom. He claimed he did not know the other boys were in there. And he was actually, they claimed he was actually trying to leave the restroom. And the other boys, I think one of the guys' name was Joe, tried to stop him from leaving. And they started fighting Casey Allison and his friend. And Casey took out his weapon and started abbing. I mean, obviously, it was more to that. I'm just not going through the whole thing because I don't remember everything. So he got criminally negligent homicide. And a lot of people were saying that he knew that they were going to be in the restroom, But, he said he didn't. And his friends said he didn't. But you don't know 100%, right? Because obviously they didn't have no cameras in the bathroom. And he had a KNIFE in his bag. So he got criminally negligent homicide and was given a sentence of 10 years in prison. It's not right, you guys. It's not. Because let me state this again. When we look at that video, which I can definitely, they held him in the bathroom. They would not let him go. They started hitting his friend. His friend tried to help, and they started fighting him. He took out his knife, and he stabbed them. That boy, I think Joe, if I'm not mistaken. And I think the dudes who was jumping him in the bathroom, they had they were like bullies, even though they claim, witnesses claim that they weren't, but they were bullies. Okay. It's a lot of stuff went on with that case right there because they were supposed to fight outside and all this other stuff. Just a hot ass mess. But he only got, what did I say he got? Let me go back to it. Kaysen got 10 years. Okay. 10 years. And he was charged with a lesser crime. And it's almost similar to Karmelo Anthony's case, almost. It was all white. It was a white jury. I guess. I know it wasn't no black people there. I don't know if it was actually all white, but there was no black juror there. So the thing is, the system is not fair. Okay, because again, let's talk about Karmelo again. When we looked at that video, let's just talk about the video real quick. When we looked at that video, okay, if you're sitting here telling me you only saw one person hitting, pushing, or whatever the hell he was doing, I will say you're crazy, okay? Because getting damn well, you see more than one person. Let's keep it real. Now, I don't know if it was 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, because all I saw is possibly 3, maybe 4, but definitely 3. Okay. Next, Karmelo was called. I don't know if he was already standing by that thing, but anyway, Eddie invited him to come over there to sit. Called him over there, whatever. That was said. Okay, that was stated. Now, you're sitting there, you're minding your business, all of a sudden, Hunter comes up, asking your name or whatever the case is, what school you go to, I guess. And then tell you that you're not supposed to be sitting underneath this tent. So I'm guessing here, that Karmelo probably told him, I don't even know if Karmelo told him his name, because they claim that he said, I'm nobody. I don't know if that's true. That's why I use the word claim. Anyway, clearly Karmelo must have said, I'm not leaving, or whatever the case is, and that probably irked Hunter off. So, of course, they're going to both start talking aggressive, and everything is going to intensify. Let's keep it real. They're kids, boys. And they get into a verbal, disagreement. We put it like that. So, let's say Austin sees his brother over there arguing with this dude. They may begin, they may be really, going at it or whatever the case is, making his brother think that they are about to fight or whatever the case is. So Austin comes over there. And that's when things really pop off. Okay? You start with pushing, taking bags and all this other shit. And I'm thinking that Karmelo probably put his hand in his bag when they started getting aggressive with him. And especially when Austin came over there. Because these boys are way bigger than him. They just used that in the other case. They said that Shriller and Adamson were thin, tall and thin. And they said Pleasant was muscular. So why can't they use that in that case but they couldn't use it over here in Carmelo's case. Carmelo is smaller than Austin and Hunter, plus it's 2. If both of those boys weigh 220 pounds, or one weigh 220, one weigh 240, and just say Carmelo can weigh 150, that's a big ass advantage. And then y'all sit up here talking about, well, he need to just go ahead and fight. Stop being stupid as hell. You guys will get out here in public and take out a GUN if a woman come up there and confront you like she about to do stuff. Let's keep it real. So they get into, the little squabble and everything. And I believe that, Carmelo put his hand in his bag somewhere around that time. And then one of them took the bag. I think Hunter said Austin took the bag. And when he took the bag, Carmelo probably had his hand in the bag and had his hand on his KNIFE, right? And so when he took the bag, Robinson's hand comes out with the KNIFE, some type of push and struggle, start hitting or whatever, and he gets out. That's what I think happened, something like that. I really do. I really do. So, I don't know if it could be, I don't know if he could walk out with no sentence, okay? But I think that negligent homicide will be befitting to that incident. If anything, if and recorded this altercation, I don't see how they can live with themselves if they do have that and know exactly what happened. See, we want to see that video and see if Karmelo actually did self-defense or not. You got all these inconsistent testimonies, these people doing interviews not saying the same thing, and nobody sees any problem with that. We know that a child lost his life. We know that. A lot of kids lose their lives. Yeah, they do all the time. But that doesn't mean that you don't look at everything before making a decision. What's the last comment? Right, they wouldn't let Kaysen leave out that bathroom, okay? But people were still trying to justify them not letting him leave, saying that Kaysen shouldn't have taken out a KNIFE. He knew that they were in there. I actually defended that dude because I was like, he can go to the bathroom if he wants to. They shouldn't have been in the bathroom doing the most, okay? And when he came to the restroom, they shouldn't have started no shit with him, hitting him, punching him, and doing all that shit and jumping him. That's what I said. So they got what they got. You can't be out here hitting people. You can't be out here jumping people. You can't be out here punching, pushing, or whatever the hell you want to say and think people are not going to respond back. And everybody don't respond back the way you want them to either. Okay, they respond back in the way they think they should respond. You can't dictate how somebody should respond back if somebody is doing something to another person. So if y'all don't see no weird shit going on in this justice system, then so be it. I just hope one of your kids don't get involved in it. Okay? I really do. Okay? Because if they are Black, Latino, homeless, or a DRUGG, a person that's on DRUGS, hey, they may not get treated fairly. And they may hide it all under the law. Just like they do some of those when people take their own life, like they do some of those cases. Which one? What did you say, Seal? Let's see here. You said, let's go all the way back. I saw this too. Okay. I saw all of that. And this. Jermaine. Okay. So what comment are you talking about? Because I thought I just showed every comment unless it got blocked or something. And I show all of this. Oh, you talking about Val. Val is the dude. All these damn cases. Val is the kid, right? At the preppy party, right? And that's the one who took out the GUN. No, not the GUN. What did he take out? Let me think. Did he take out a GUN or did he use the KNIFE? Anyway, he unalive and injured. I think he did the GUN, right? And then he also injured some more students. Okay. And his case, I forgot what he got. I can't remember, but I know one damn thing. You're right. You're right in this statement right here. You got this right too. It's just not correct. But see, some of y'all don't realize stuff until you are in that situation. It was mostly, I don't know, I just know they didn't have any black jurors there. Okay, so Val had a KNIFE. Okay, so he used it to unalive the one kid who he did not know, right? And then he injured some more kids. And that was at that Richie Rich party, right? Okay. And they all are like high school students. All these cases and they doing similar things, unaliving people with KNIFE, with a KNIFE. And then when they go to trial, they don't get 35 years. They don't get 30 years. They don't get 20 years. Hell, they don't even get 17 years or 15 years. They get 10 years, 5 years, 4 years, or no years. This dude right here, Val, what was his sentence? Or is he still in trial or what? Because I can't remember. Yeah, give it to me. What was Val's thing, Jermaine? I can't remember. I can look him up real quick, man. Let's see if I can find. I probably still got it on my phone. I don't know. What was his first name? Because when I type in just the last name, he was just talking about him the other day. Roll Val. Okay, let me put his name up in here. So let's see. He was found, is this him? Not guilty of the most serious charges. So that's right. The jury deadlocked on the lesser charge of, let's see. They go with these cookies. Let's see here. So let's see. He was acquitted of murder. Okay. He unalived 17-year-old Jenny McGrath. He was found not guilty of murder and intentional manslaughter. Okay, they try to retry him, but then they said that his attorney said that would be like double jeopardy or something like that. And then they went to court. The attorney argued that the remaining charges against him should be dismissed. So yeah, his attorney argued that retrying the case will violate the law and be considered double jeopardy. Okay? And he was acquitted after he unalived that kid at a party. He didn't even know the kid. And he injured some other kids. Let's go down here and see what still got. Prosecutor arrests Karmelo Anthony trial shaped by different student accounts of Abby. Okay, let's see. Well, he was acquitted. I'm gonna put it on my look it up on my other phone. Copy and paste it from here. If I can, let's see. I gotta do it like this. Hold on, y'all. Let me do it on. Let's see if I can do it like this. Well, while I'm looking at this, let's go to TikTok and see what they're saying about this other dude's case real quick. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Let me just go to put this on while I'm looking it up, okay? Oh, man. Okay, let me put what's the name up here now. Present station. Let's see. So we're looking up all these damn cases I just got to talking about. We're gonna do. You already did Tone. Let's do. What's that dude's name? Adamson. All these damn cases, man. Let's see. I don't forgot his first name. And I was just talking about it. That's because I'm getting sleepy. Let's see. Yeah, I got to tell y'all about this crazy ass story before we go tonight. About this hospital worker accused of making meals from human flesh. Okay. Told you some crazy ass people out here. Y'all just don't know. I think y'all probably do know though. Okay, let's see here. Got the guy's name, and I just said his name 1,000 times. I know it's Adamson. Let's see if I can get his name before this damn thing do this again. Jermaine, if you remember his name, put it in the chat because I don't forget his first name. Is it Alec? Let me type it in here because I forgot you can't go to this site right here and look up method because they want me to pay for a subscription. Let me do it right here. Yeah, that's his name. Damn. Okay, let me put this thing up here. I just had to make sure. So, yeah, let's look him up real quick. Y'all can watch this before I look at this other thing. I'm trying to get somebody that's talking normal. Shit. Let's see here. Let's see what he. I knew it. You can't play a video here without them with this music on. I mean, everybody do it.
Black America. I don't know. It was NBC.
We can't do that. Let's see what she got up here anyway.
I don't know. It was NBC or CBS and them white shows, networks.
No, I'm trying to find. I don't want to hear this comparison stuff. I just want to see what they say about this. Let's see. Let me do it like this because I don't want to hear all the other stuff. Let's see if I can find anything that I would actually want to show because right now I don't see shit. besides hearing music or hearing racist ass people. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm gonna be unsuccessful on this one right here. Damn, my right hand is just itching, y'all. Damn. I don't want to hear a comparison anymore because we already did that. I just wanted to hear about the story. They're gonna compare everything now though, because it happened in it's the same county and everything else. So let me see what she said. I hope she don't got the music on.
Don't get in my comments and tell me this isn't anything different. The case isn't different. I'm going to show you how.
Let's see
I
what
want to take you back to 2023 to Denton, Texas. Denton County, Texas. It's east of Collin County. And there was a man named Alec Adamson, who is a white man. He was buying drugs from David Pleasant, who was 19 years of age. He killed him at a park. He was charged with first-degree murder. The jury deliberated under 3.5 hours, gave Alec Adamson a lesser charge of only aggravated assault, which led to him having a lesser sentence. He is now eligible for immediate parole. What is the difference in this case? A life was taken. No self-defense was utilized here, just a drug deal going bad. So don't get in my comments and say that I'm creating content about racial division, because I'm not. I'm only speaking the facts. And the fact is, in this case is evidence, Alec Adamson was a white man that killed a black man. And the jury deliberated and gave him a lesser sentence. I expect the same courtesy for Karmelo Anthony. Justice is justice, and let's stay fair in all of our judicial proceedings. Thank you. Don't get in my comments and tell me this isn't.
That. And it is. It's similar because it's similar because, you know, it's an unaliving. Somebody's lives. 2 people's lives were taken. Okay, let's keep it real. And like she said, Alec Adamson is a damn DD. Let's keep it real. And it was a DD gone bad, just like she just said. Okay, so I don't understand how he could have got a lesser damn sentence, knowing that he's doing something damn illegal in the first place. Something is wrong with our justice system, and I mean that on every damn thing. Okay, that's crazy. How is he getting a lesser sentence and he's a damn DD in a DD gone bad? You're doing a damn crime while another crime is being made. And then another crime is being made because you take your pew-pew out and you start pew-pewing this kid while he's running away. So how did he get a lesser damn sentence on everything? Now, let me go over and read this. Okay, I guess I'm on the right thing because I typed it in here myself. West Seal TV. You saying where it says state student witness differ on details but reach same conclusion? Okay, I don't know if that's the same part you're telling me to go to, but they say Edwin, a recent Frisco Memorial graduate, was described by prosecutors Saturday as the common denominator connecting Anthony to Memorial's tent. The trial has centered on a dispute that began when Metcalf and others told Anthony to leave their team's tent during the rain-delayed high school track meet. Now, previous testimony has indicated Anthony chose the Memorial tent because he knew Edwin, Eddie. Eddie testified he knew of Anthony because he was dating a family friend of Eddie's at the time, but said he did not consider Anthony a friend. Okay? He didn't consider it, but he got pictures with him and shit. That's stupid as hell, okay? On everything. Eddie said he didn't notice Anthony when he first joined his team under the tent on April 2nd, 2025, but told the jury Anthony got everyone's attention. So when he inserted himself into a conversation about the school football team. He said, y'all are ass, he recalled Anthony saying of the player. So what? Let's see. Oh, he said, scroll down some more. Oh, okay, I see right here. We said defense student witness gives different story. Okay, that's the place, right? So it said, despite previous testimony that Hunter Metcalf had little to no involvement in the altercation, the 17-year-old called by the defense said Hunter was the first person to speak to Anthony, asking, hey, who are you? The teenager said he did not remember how Anthony responded, but said Anthony later told Hunter, no one has a problem with me being here other than you. And there's nothing wrong with what he just said either. At some point, the student recalled Austin and Hunter both stood up, okay, while Anthony remained seated. The student described the trends as being somewhat aggressive. When the trend stood, the student said he saw Anthony put his hands in his backpack. And, you know, and honestly, I can see why he probably did. Because if those two are somewhat aggressive, moderately aggressive, and two of them standing up like they're about to do something, hell, what do you expect? Because Anthony is there by himself, and he's much smaller. So this person said that Anthony put his hands in his backpack, which was either positioned in his lap or between his legs. And then Austin said, I know you don't have anything in that bag. That's what he told Anthony. And then Anthony said, why would you say that? And then he said, you are from Frisco. And then I wouldn't say that. I guess that's what Anthony said. Austin Metcalf then began to move closer to Anthony. By the time he reached the step below Anthony, the student said Anthony told him, touch me and see what happens. The student said Austin tapped Anthony on the shoulder, to which Anthony responded, okay, you touch me, but as long as you don't punch me, we good. Austin Metcalf then allegedly grabbed Anthony with both hands. In that second, the student testified Anthony's hand came out of the bag and plunged them, you know what, into Metcalf. And the thing about it is this right here. Let's break this down all the way back. So let's go all the way back. So Hunter did have involvement with this, okay? He told on himself anyway, his interview, okay? He told on himself. I know y'all don't realize that. So anyway, Hunter did say that he went over there. He went and asked Anthony, what's your name, or whatever the case is. Okay, so that part, he said that. But I heard that Anthony said he's nobody or something like that. I don't know if he actually said that. He's a nobody. But this witness said that Anthony later told Hunter, no one has a problem with me being here other than you. So if he says, we got to break this all the way down, no one has a problem with me being here other than you, Anthony must have already realized by Hunter's tone that he did not want him there. Because there's no way Anthony would say no one has a problem with me being here other than you if Hunter was being polite. Like, for example, if you were under my team's tent and I just walked over to you and be like, hey, what's up? What's up? What's your name? Oh, what school you go to? Oh, you know that you aren't supposed to be over here because, you know, this is our team's tent, so we don't like other team players over here. That's a different type of approach, okay? And so I don't think, he may still say no one has a problem with me being here other than you. He might still say that, okay? But I'm thinking that when Hunter came over there and said, hey, who are you? And then Anthony said, well, he said he don't remember, but he said that later Anthony said, no one has a problem with me being here other than you. Since he said the problem thing like that, and the student, the other witness said that he did not remember how Anthony responded initially, but then said later on, Anthony said, no one has a problem with me being here other than you. That makes me think that whatever they were saying to each other before that, because the student don't remember, right? Don't remember that, but the student remember the other stuff, right? Anyway, that makes me think that Anthony and Hunter were saying stuff then, and that's when Anthony told him, no one has a problem with me being here other than you. Okay, then at some point the student said, I guess Austin came over there or whatever, but the student said Austin and Hunter Metcalf both stood up. And Anthony still sat in his seat on the, still sat on the bleachers. And then the twins got moderately aggressive. So what does that mean when somebody gets moderately, I know I probably said that word crazy, aggressive. I want to look it up, but I definitely don't want to go off this page because we know what's going to happen. So let me look on my other phone. Moderately. Okay, let's see what that means. So that can be harmless assertiveness or severe violence. It's described as intentional acts or speech meant to cause mild to moderate harm, dominance, or intimidation without inflicting serious physical injury. It can be verbal, physical, or social. Okay, so they were talking at that time, but they were talking probably, trying to maintain dominance because they want him to leave and they letting him know that this is our tent and we want you to leave. So, getting down well, they probably was like, what? Okay. That's why they both were standing up. When you stand up over someone, that also says something, okay? That also means something. Anyway, Anthony stayed sitting down, okay? When the twins stood up, the student said he saw Anthony put his hands in his backpack. You know why he put his hand in his backpack? Because they stood up over him, okay? If you're sitting down on the bleachers, mind your damn business, and you get into it with the first brother, and then the other brother steps up, and they both stand over you, and getting down well that you don't want to get into a fight or whatever the case is, because they both going to jump you. In all honesty, what would you guys do if you had a weapon? Would you try to get it, or would you basically just try to get up and leave? What would you do? And then, since they didn't believe he had anything in his bag, now I thought somebody else said something else, but anyway, this student right here said that Austin said, I know you don't have anything in that bag. So what was said between that time? Because why would Austin just say, I know you don't have anything in that bag if nothing else was said? Just because you put your hands in your backpack, it doesn't mean that you got something. But I guess in between that time he must have said, touch me and see what's going to happen. And that's when Austin probably said, I know you don't have anything in that bag. And then Anthony said, why would you say that? He said, because you're from Frisco, like that means anything. Okay. And then Anthony, I guess, said, I wouldn't say that. And then, see, right here is where he effed up, because then Austin started moving closer to Anthony. Okay, because he, was, thought he was bluffing about whatever he said he had or whatever he said at that time. So the student said by the time he reached the step below Anthony, that's no, I was wrong. That's when Anthony told him, touch me and see what happens. So let's go back. So back here, Anthony remained seated, right? Hunter and Austin was standing over him, okay? And they said that they were somewhat aggressive, okay? Meaning they could have been, aggressive somewhere where they just basically intimidating him or whatever, or they could have been aggressive where they were really intimidating him, making him think that they're about to do something. So I think they were making him think they were about to do something, especially when they stood over him, okay? Because that's when he put his hand in the backpack, okay? And the student said his backpack was either between his legs or on his lap. And that's when Austin said, I know you don't have anything in that bag. But why would he say that? Because Anthony didn't say anything about touch me or anything like that before, according to the student. Okay. And then Anthony said, why would you say that? And he sounds like he was still calm because he said, why would you say that? But then again, he could have said, why would you say that? Okay. And then he said, you're from Frisco. And then he said, I wouldn't say that. Anyway, then Austin started walking closer to Anthony. So I'm assuming that Hunter stayed back, I guess. By the time he reached the step below Anthony, the student said Anthony told him, touch me and see what happens. Okay. Because see, he messed up when he walked up closer to him. Because let me tell you something. Anytime you're in a verbal altercation with someone, right? And everything is getting heated. And then you look like you may have something, right? And then the person that you're arguing with calling your bluff and start walking up on you like they're about to do something, getting them well, most people are going to start thinking about defending themselves. So that's why he said, touch me and see what happens. Anyway, the student claimed that Austin tapped Anthony on the shoulder, to which Anthony responded, okay, you touch me, but as long as you don't punch me, we're good. That could be true. He touched him, which he should have never touched him. He should have kept his hands to himself. But anyway, Karmelo still went on and said, okay, you touch me, so what? But as long as you don't punch me, we're good. That's why he said that. We're good. If you don't punch me, we're good. And then the student said Austin then allegedly grabbed Anthony with both hands. Why he would do that, I don't know. And y'all think it's okay. You think it's okay for him to grab him like that. But I guarantee you, if you're out in public and you're in an argument with a dude and he grabbed you like that, your ass is going to go off. And I know you are. And if you tell me that you're not, I'm not going to believe you. And then that student said that's when Anthony's hand came out of the bag and plunged the into Metcalf. So something is not right here still. I don't believe the student all the way. Okay? Because Hunter said in the interview that Austin grabbed the bag. Let me show y'all. And I'm glad you told me to go to this right here too. Okay, and what was this message you just, let me see what this deleted message is. I like to read their messages. Keisha here. Why are you always coming over with that stupid shit? For real. Dumbass. Anyway, I'm with the GUN set. I'm gonna blow you. Let me stop. I'm joking. Okay. Let's go over here and do what I said I was gonna do. I'm joking, girl. Or dude, or whatever you are. Let's go to, what did I just say I was going to go to? YouTube, right? Let's go to YouTube. And I hope, let me screenshot this because my stuff be coming up, then I can't go back to the page and it just be tripping out. And let me do the other part too. Oh no, that's the only part I need. As a matter of fact, let me just screenshot this whole part because I know what be happening with my stuff on these damn channel, on these sites. They just show it to me one time, then they want you to pay or buy a subscription the next time. So I'm going to screenshot that just in case. Okay, so we can have it. And that way I'll keep it too. Let's go down here and screenshot this. Okay, now I got the whole story. Okay. Okay, so we are going to go to pressure point, right? And we're going to listen to Hunter say. So this student said that Austin then allegedly grabbed Anthony with both hands. In that second, the student testified Anthony's hand came out of the bag and plunged the thing into Metcalf. Not one time did this student say anything about Austin grabbing the bag. Somebody is lying, you guys. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Someone is lying, okay? And that defense attorney, he should have, man, oh man. Damn, you should see this. So here's Hunter. While y'all watch this, let me go ahead real quick. Y'all can see that, right?
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack.
My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back. And things started getting more like higher intensity. And the kid said some like aggressive stuff, like reckless stuff. And Austin tried to handle the problem. And yeah.
Austin was always one to step up. He always was one to step up and be the
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack.
My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back. And things started getting more like higher intensity. And the kid said some like aggressive stuff, like reckless stuff. And Austin tried to handle the problem. And yeah.
Austin was always one to step up. He always was one to step up and be the
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack.
My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back. And things started getting more like higher intensity. And the kid said some like aggressive.
Hunter is telling a different story than this witness is, okay? Point blank. I don't know what y'all be listening to or anything. Okay, I don't. This student is telling a whole different story. He said, let's listen to this one more time. Go back. Wait, damn it. Let's see. Oh, let me do like this.
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless.
So how is this reckless and aggressive? Hold on. Let me go to it. I just want to do this piece by piece. Let's go back. It doesn't seem like any of them are really getting like that at all, really, if you ask me. Because, okay, so Hunter say, "Hey, who are you?" The teenager said he didn't remember how Anthony responded, but said Anthony later told Hunter, "No one has a problem with me being here other than you." How is that reckless talking and aggressive? Now, the teenager did say that the trends started getting moderately aggressive, okay? This person also said that Austin and Hunter both stood up while Anthony remained seated. Let me tell you something. When you are talking to people and you're like in somewhat of a argument and just say everybody sit down, then people start standing up, that means you're trying to get ready to do something or you want to do something. If you don't believe me, go out here. Like next time you go to a game, you're sitting down, just get into an argument with someone, right? And then you stand your ass up. When you stand up, they're going to think that's an invitation for them to stand up. Most people are going to stand up back because they think you are about to start something. He stayed seated up. He didn't get up, okay? And I'm going to look that up in a minute and tell you what that means. Okay, now, when those trends stood up and when they were moderately aggressive, right? That's when Anthony put his hands in his backpack. Okay? And then Austin said, "I know you don't have anything in that bag." Anthony said, "Why would you say that?" And then he said, "You're from Frisco." And they probably was sounding a little aggressive, but like making it out of a joke type thing. Okay. And Anthony probably was like, "Why would you? I wouldn't say that." And then that's when Austin started moving closer to Anthony. Then his kid said by the time he reached the step below Anthony, the student said, Anthony told him, "Touch me and see what happens." And then the student said Austin tapped Anthony on the shoulder To which Anthony responded, okay, you touch me, but as long as you don't punch me, we're good. So he's basically letting him know, don't punch me. He told him don't touch him. And he called his bluff and touched him anyway. That's provoking. Okay, I don't know what y'all be looking at, and I damn show. But then again, I do know what the jury, and I also know what the judge, and I also know what the prosecutor, and I don't know what the hell the defense was doing. Okay, but anyway. So he said, okay, you touch me, but as long as you don't punch me, we're good. So then Austin then allegedly grabbed Anthony with both hands. So y'all mean to tell me if some dude grab you with both hands, you just politely standing there, not doing a damn thing. You may not go in your bag, but then again, you may. It depends on how big the guy is and what you got. Then Anthony's hand came out of the bag and plunged the you-know-what into Metcalf. But anyway, he tells a totally different story. Let's listen again. Oh, my God. It's going to take forever. Let me do it like this. Wait a minute. Damn.
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack.
But that's not what wait. That's not what the witness said. The witness said that let me go back. The witness said after Anthony said, no one has a problem with me being here other than you. That's when, hold on, let me see when he said Austin came there. Hold on. That's when Austin and Hunter both stood up. Okay. And Anthony stayed sitting. Okay. And then they started being moderately aggressive. Okay. And then they said that Austin walked up closer to him or something. Okay. And mind you, Karmelo was still sitting down.
What?
My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back. And
you can still have your brother's back by running over there getting that damn coach, okay? Or by breaking that shit up. That's what he really should have did. Breaking that shit up. And then telling one of the other dudes to go over there and get the coach. That's what that should have happened. That's how he has your back for real.
Things started getting more higher intensity, and the kid said some aggressive stuff, reckless stuff, and also try to handle the problem.
So the reckless stuff and aggressive stuff must be your team is ass. Okay, so if you guys are trying to be professional ball players or whatever the hell, people do this. People, other team players, teammates, whatever you want to call them, opposing teams or whatever. They will say crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying about your team. Your team suck. Your team is ass. Your team suck ass. All types of stuff. You can't be out here, getting into fights and stuff over that because you're going to get fined. You can get put out the game, sit on the bench, or whatever the case is. You can't be doing that. So for me, saying your team is ass is not something that is aggressive. Okay, period.
Yeah.
Austin was always one to step up.
But
he always was one to step up and be the
My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back. And things started getting more higher intensity. And the kid said some aggressive stuff, reckless stuff, and also try to handle the problem. And
Austin was always.
This kid who testified didn't say anything about it.
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack.
What? See, he grabbed
my brother stepped in. He started being
aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack.
See, make me move. Austin grabbed that damn backpack then. Okay? Austin grabbed that backpack. What's the name told him, make me move. I do believe all of that right there. I really do. I don't believe that conversation went like this witness said either. I don't believe that witness all the way, okay? Because I just don't see them talking that calm. Okay, that make me move. I believe that because somebody tell me about it, like make me move, especially after we already are into like a little argument or whatever the case is, and people standing up and shit and getting their brothers and stuff like that. Okay, so I got it now. I got it very. I got it. Hold on, let me rewind it so we can hear that part again.
He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack.
My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back, and things started getting more like higher intensity. And the kid said some like aggressive stuff, like reckless stuff. And Austin tried to handle the problem. And
the thing is, when you handle a problem, don't make the problem get worse. Okay, shit. So he grabbed the backpack. So this student did not tell the whole story, okay? Point blank. Did not tell the whole story at all. I do not believe some of this stuff he's saying anyway. I just don't. And I don't believe that it was just a little tap. He could have just tapped him on the shoulder to be annoying. You know how people would do shit just to annoy you, to show you ain't shit. And that's why Anthony said, okay, you touch me, but as long as you don't punch me, we're good. I definitely believe he said that. And then that's when Austin grabbed him. But when he grabbed him, he might have grabbed that book bag then as well. Okay? If Austin actually grabbed that book bag. Okay? Hunter could have grabbed that book bag. You just never know. Because if Austin is grabbing him with both hands, how in the hell is he grabbing the book bag at the same time? What if the other twin grabbed the book bag while Austin grabbed him? Anthony's hand was still in the bag. You know, when you pull the book bag, then your hand come out with the KNIFE. And then since Austin was grabbing him with both hands, grabbing on him, that's how he got out. What if it happened like that? Let me say that again. So Austin allegedly grabbed Anthony with both hands, right? And just say Hunter is the one who actually took the book bag, right? And while he took the book bag, Karmelo's hand was still in the book bag and coming, his hand was in the book bag with holding the knife. And then as Hunter could have taken the bag, and then his hand comes out of the bag with the KNIFE in it. And then Austin already is holding on to him, and they probably are, fighting him or whatever the case is, or grabbing him aggressively or whatever you want to say. And that's how he got out, just like that. It's probably something like that. He's telling you the whole story in these two videos. He's telling you. That's why he didn't get up on that stand. He's telling you the whole story. I believe him. I really do. I don't believe these witnesses. I believe just what he said. Okay, the parts of the stuff that he just said. As far as when it comes to the book bag, I believe they were getting aggressive too. I believe he did get a little aggressive as well because he had to get mad too. Shit, because they over here standing all over him and shit and trying to intimidate him and shit. You're grabbing his bag. You would be lying to say he didn't get mad, because if somebody grabbed my purse, I'm gonna be like, what the hell? What's wrong with you? If somebody grab your wallet or your bag, you're gonna be mad, right? Let's keep it real. This was simple. I think this was just a altercation, a physical altercation that got way out of hand. I really do. So let's see. Let me read your things. I was up here looking at everything. Let's see. Let's see. The jury deliberated about 13 hours on, 13 on the charge, about 3.5 hours before deciding on the 4-year sentence. Okay, let's see. Keep in mind that was a defense witness. It is hard to figure out if we can work in the bag grab or if that happened or not. Right. But Hunter, forget the defense, all of them. Hunter said that his brother grabbed the bag. Okay, but I'm trying to figure out, according to this witness, though, we're going to go back to this witness now. The witness said that Austin allegedly grabbed Anthony with both hands. How would Austin grab Anthony with both hands and at the same time grab his bag too? Unless he grabbed him with both hands and let one hand down and grabbed his bag. He could have did it like that too, because they did. Okay? He could have did it like that too and still holding Anthony and stuff. And that's what all that tussling we saw in that video is about. And then when he pulled the bag from Anthony, the KNIF came out with him and he abbed Austin then. So it probably happened like that or the other way. Right, he didn't mention nothing about that. I think that if they were actually telling him to leave 10 or 15 times, you would think that a witness will remember that because they're saying it so many times, okay? They're saying it so many times. And he could have did that, just like he just said. And then, you know, when you're fighting, and I know what I'm talking about because I was in a situation like that. When you're fighting someone and you have a weapon, you don't be knowing when you adding someone at. You're just trying to get them off of you. And at that time, I don't know if the other one joined in or not, because we can go back and look at this little video right here. You can't really tell because it's too blurry. You can't tell at all that much. You could tell that there was some things going on, but you can't really tell if it's Hunter hitting or someone else, or you just can't tell that certain things. You can tell there's more than one person, though. You can tell there's a couple of people up there doing stuff. So I do believe they jumped him. You know, you just can't tell, you know, who exactly it was. So a first kid, see, this was Austin didn't attack until after the first kid. So that's the other person. Who is that first kid though? Who is that kid? We just saw him pop up on the screen, and then there's Austin right there. The first kid popped up on the screen up in here somewhere. So that's that. This, like I said, this whole entire trial was not right. Okay, point blank. It's just, you know, in my opinion, it just wasn't. Let me stop sharing this, you guys. It just wasn't, in my opinion. Let me take this down. And I just think they need to basically, you know, if that appeal does go through, okay, I don't know what they will grant him, but if they did do a retrial, you know, it would be good if they bring out all the information and maybe get a different defense attorney, somebody that's really going to fight for him and everything, and bring out all the information and get some damn more witnesses up there too, you know. And, you know, honestly, I think they should let him talk if they do another trial. But I think if the appeal goes through, I honestly don't feel like they would do a remand. I think they would just probably do a modified, give them maybe a lesser time and a lesser sentence or something. Maybe negligent homicide, okay, if anything. Because the self-defense thing, unless you can see that video, I mean, when I look at the things that these people are saying, I still pretty much need to see a video, because I need to see certain things in order to say if it's, you know, if you can use the defense thing, because it is defense, but if you can actually use it, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm thinking probably negligent homicide if they can't use the self-defense thing. But when people stand over you, let me look that up real quick. Let me just type it in there real quick, y'all. Oh, yeah. And then we are getting ready to get out of here because we've been on this line for a long time. Let's see. See, when people are sitting down, it's less confrontational, okay? But when you stand up, it means that you're trying to be intimidating. It means that you may be getting up to do something, okay? You're trying to show dominance over someone, okay? Like they said, somebody can easily hit, kick, or slap you when they are standing up. Yeah, they know that's very disrespectful to stand over someone. It's very disrespectful, and when you are in an argument and someone stands up over you, it basically indicates that you think you have dominance over the person. You're trying to gain that, okay? And you're acting like you are ready to do something. And I'm talking about when you are in an argument and you stand up and the other person is still sitting down. And see, when they went to trial, the defense attorney should have had somebody in there to, that has a profession in that. Because they have people who would tell you what all that means, the body language and stuff. When you stand up and somebody is sitting down and you are in an argument, that means you are basically trying to act like you are dominant over that person, that you basically don't give a damn. If you want to do something, I'm ready to do it. Even if you don't want to do something, I'm ready to do it. Okay? You're intimidating that person and things of that nature. So that standing up stuff is not cool. You say, yes, that is what I was going to say. Maybe Austin swiped away that bag real quick and then grabbed Karmelo out on the shoulders. And then you said the jury heard that they were standing over Karmelo and Austin grabbed or pushed him on the shoulders. The jury decided that did not justify illing him. But I didn't say it justified that. What I said that you cannot stand over people because that shows that you're trying to intimidate. What would have justified anything, him using self-defense, is the fact that if Austin grabbed that bag and was basically hitting him, not just grabbing the bag, but hitting him and fighting him at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Pushing him, hitting him, fighting him. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, you cannot tell exactly if if he is punching him or what. You can see pushing and stuff, but you don't know what else is happening in that film because it's too damn blurry. Okay, just like you can tell it's more than one person, but yet they didn't say anything about that. He was being jumped. And then you saw a knee type movement. I don't know if that was actually a knee or what, or somebody else hitting, but you saw another movement right there. So you can clearly tell it was more than just pushing. It was more than just pushing. You can see that in that video. And before we leave, we're going to look at that real quick. And then I am out of here because it's late as hell. It's 4 o'clock. And every time I start talking about this case, we be in here longer. Let me take that down right there. Hold on, y'all. I know it's going to take me forever just to find the header because it's all the stuff up here. Hold on. Oh, no, it didn't take this long this time. Okay, let me show that real quick. Hold on. Let's see. It's this right here, yeah. Let me go back to the shorts, I think, right? Let's go back to pressure point again. This is the same thing. I just got to go back to it and push shorts. So let's see if I got it up here. No, it may be on my thing. That's right. It's on my stuff. Hold on. I got to go back to TikTok. I'm on the wrong thing. Well, let me go to profile. Here it is right here. I'm just going to go up to right where they squirt, doing all this stuff at. I think it's 7 something. I wish I could zoom in, but you can't. But I showed y'all a up close shot yesterday, I think. You see that boy coming over there doing the most. That looked like that's when they did. I don't know if that's when they. I don't know. It's hard to tell looking at these videos. It's so blurry. See the other kid, that kid. It's more than yeah. So like I said, it looks like to me it's more than one person doing stuff up there. Okay, I don't know if it's more than three, but it looks like it's definitely more than one person. I don't know how they could not see that, but people see what they want to see, and I know that for sure. They see, and I think yesterday I showed a closer up view of that and stuff, but I'm not gonna go back to it tonight because it's getting late and stuff. But like I said, the only thing because the trial is over. The only thing that could be good is if the appeal goes through, and I don't know if he will get a remand, but maybe a modification, right? Modify where they can go in and change, the sentencing and stuff. So maybe that'll happen and stuff. But I do think that his trial was not fair at all. You said we see a push from the left, then we see a similar lunge moving, retaliating from the right. That could mean Karmelo abbing him because right after he leaves and Austin falls down. And then some people say Austin ran behind him, so I don't know what to believe in regards to, what happened. But some people say Austin ran after him and then fell down. So I don't know. I did see somebody look like they fell down right there. So clearly he got out right within that point. But I also seen, some kind of other movements going on up there, like somebody was kicking or hitting or whatever the case is. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell looking at blurry videos, but I do think more than one person was, hitting, pushing, or whatever you want to call it. And I think he was scared because two dudes standing up over him, like they get ready to do something. Did that justify the KNIFE Abbott? I don't know because I wasn't there. I can't see a clear view or anything, and it just all depends. That's why I said, if anything, if he gets his appeal granted, and they do see some errors and other things going on there, it may be a modification, a modify, meaning that they can reduce the sentence. But I think he still probably will get some years, point blank. You know what I'm saying? I just think that. And Jermaine doesn't think the appeal will go through. But Jermaine, before we leave, if the appeal did go through, you and West Seal, if the appeal went through, what do you think he would get? Do you think he would get a affirm, right? I think that's the first one. Affirm is when they basically, let me get this right. Let me go look at it real quick so I won't get it backwards. Let me go look at it real quick. I got a screenshot, so it shouldn't take me that long. I guess it won't take me that long to find it. Let me see, affirm. What the hell did I do with this stuff, man? I never find shit on this phone. This is what I just did tonight. Okay, let's see. I hope I didn't delete that because my ass know I be doing some stuff when I be cleaning this phone off. It may be on my other phone. Let me look on my other phone because I don't see here. I can even type it on there real quick too. Hold on. Let me see. It may be on this phone. Let me check real quick. I hope I didn't delete it because my ass know I be deleting stuff. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, so affirm. I was right. That's when the court agrees with the lower court's decision. Oh, no, I was wrong. The affirm is the court agrees with the lower court's decision, leaving the original ruling unchanged. Okay, so they can do an affirm or they can reverse it. The reverse is the court disagrees with the decision and then they overturn the original judgment. Or they can do a modification, modify. The court changes or corrects a specific part of the original judgment, meaning that they can probably reduce the sentence. And then remand is when the court sends the case back down to the lower trial for further proceedings, new calculations, or a new trial. So I'm thinking that I don't know if they'll do a reverse overturning the original judgment. I don't really see that, but I'm not a lawyer and I'm not looking at all the other stuff that they're going to present. But the modification, modify, I can see happening because I really think 35 years is too much. Okay. And plus, I wouldn't say that was straight up murder either. I would think it would be negligent homicide more than anything. Or it could be a remand where they send it back down to the lower trial court for further proceedings, new calculations, or a completely new trial. So you think, let's see. I know I've been deleting shit like all the damn time. Okay, let's see here. Is Austin white? But yes, of course, Austin ran after the black child. It could turn into a new plea deal. He pleads guilty of manslaughter, gets 8 to 15, just guess. It could be. I didn't even think about that. It could be that. You're right. But still, but anything is better than 35. Okay, because 8 to 15, I don't know how much you have to serve or whatever the case is. Because I really can't see them like dismiss, overturning it. Unless the only way I can see them overturning it is if there are a lot of errors and things of that nature. Okay. But other than that, I don't see them overturning that. I can just picture them doing a modified or like what you just said, and maybe, a retrial, maybe. I really just see them doing though that modification thing, if anything. Because the sentencing and the charge may not be there. Because the reason why I say that is because you really can't say it's straight up murder. Okay, because he wasn't going there to do anything. All right, just because someone carries a weapon, it doesn't mean they're trying to use it. I carry one all the time. I'm not trying to use it. All right, a lot of people carry weapons every day. They're not trying to use it. Hell, my son carries 4 or 5. He's an officer though. He's a police officer, but even when he's not on duty, he carries 4 or 5 different things, different guns, GUNS, okay, in different places. So, it doesn't mean he's trying to use them. I know many people who carry GUN in KNIFEs, S's, and all types of stuff. That doesn't mean they're trying to use it. So, he wasn't going there to fight. Okay, he was there underneath the tent, whether Eddie called him over there or not. I don't know how that went. I believe some lies are being told. I don't believe everybody. I don't believe Austin and Hunter were just a little bit aggressive. I don't believe they did a slight tap or anything. I don't believe that. Okay, just like I know Karmelo probably got bad. I think he got a bunch of boys getting mad. Austin Hunter started it by coming over there asking that boy all them damn questions. He saw that the boy probably was getting annoyed. Leave his ass alone, go get the coach and be done with it. That's why Austin stood up or came over there. Okay? So I don't see that being just straight up murder. I see, if anything, it would be negligent homicide or something like that. Period. That's what I think. He said 5 to 20%. Well, then Jeff just crashes out. Nobody gives a damn about Jeff crashing out. If he want to crash out, crash out. Okay, as long as they'll be crashing out on people. Because let me tell you something. This is not slavery time. This is not the 60s, 70s, not even the 80s or 90s, or even the early 2000s. You come for people, they come back. All right? That's on everything. Period. Everybody got GUNSs and KNIFEs in France. Okay? Let's keep it real. So the thing is that if he does get 10 years, then it is what it is. You got many people who have had kids unalive, and some of them don't even get 10 years. They don't even get 8 years. Okay, I just showed you an example tonight with the one kid only getting 4 years. Okay, and then even though Kason Allison was in the right, in my opinion, he was in the right. Still, the little dude who got unalive, Joe, his parents don't see it that way. Okay, and Casey only got what, 10 years? Okay, so yeah, at least if he does get 10 years, at least he got some years. Just put it like that. Some years to think about. The next time you can just walk away as well. He tried to bring back something, huh? Y'all better watch out. Especially y'all black people who voted for him. Y'all better watch out. I'm an independent, okay? Just so y'all can know that I'm not a Republican or a Democrat and stuff. So yeah, y'all better watch out. Y'all better watch out, okay? If dementia is setting in, y'all know how that goes. You know how that goes. How old is Trump? 81. Well. And that's nothing, y'all. Y'all making dances about the album and stuff. That is cray. All right? Y'all shouldn't do that. Because the thing is this right here. You can't make dances about after you can't make a dance out of someone getting unalive. Okay? It's not cool. Because the thing is that you never know when the shoe could be on the other foot. And that's why I don't wish BATH or anyone. Because you never know what may happen to you in the long run, or your kids, or your family members. This situation with Austin, Hunter, and Karmelo is just a situation that really shouldn't have happened. Okay? It's a shame that boy lost his life. Okay, and the other one is incarcerated. It's a shame. That's why I wish parents would teach their kids how to take other avenues and how to learn not to continue to, mess with people when they are indicating they want you to leave them alone and to go seek someone in authority. We got to teach our kids that. Otherwise, you're going to have many more situations like this. And it doesn't matter if the parents cry online, they get donations, they do tours and shit, they threaten, or whatever the case is. It's not going to bring those kids back. Okay? All it's going to do is get other people on the line. And sometimes it's not just the people who did it, it'll be the people who complain it. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for being here. All right, thanks to Wet Seal TV, the boss, Jermaine, oh my God, let's see who else. Even though she came up, I don't, Justice Jane, thank you. Let's see who else. I don't know. When people come over here and they put this in, I think they must think I get mad. I don't. Let's see who else. Keisha here, thank you. See, this is why you got yourself in timeout or whatever Jermaine did. Because you keep on asking this silly shit. Thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in the replay. To my what set you claim. Girl, I am not 10, okay? Or 15 or 20, okay? Or dude. Like I said, thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in replay. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, share, leave a comment, hype this video up, and make sure you check out my other material, Pressure Point News with Shay. If you like shopping hauls and you want to get away from all this stuff right here, check me out at Shay Shopping Haul channel. You can check out my shopping hauls here. If you like comedy type stuff, you like to see like skits, country rain reaction skits, I do those too. And then the daily news reactions, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I talk about different news topics for about 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. Period. It's pre-recorded. All right. West Seal, I like you, West Seal. I'm going to go over there and check out your show. I think I already did. Didn't I already subscribe to you? I don't even know. Anyway, I'm going to check it out and see. And thanks for all of your comments and stuff and your, going back and forth with me and all that stuff and keeping it, respectful, professional, and all. All right. All right, God, y'all. I can't even talk now because I'm getting tired. But anyway, it's time for Shades 2 to go to bed. I am tired. Every damn night, 4 o'clock. And then I got to get up in the morning. Not early because I usually get about 6, 7 hours of sleep. So anyway, y'all have a good night and a blessed weekend. And I'll see y'all again with another Night Owl Talk Time on Monday night, unless something major happened and stuff. Oh, before we leave, real quick. This crazy ass woman, real quick, let me tell you. I got to tell y'all this before we leave. What did I do with the damn story? This lady is. Hold on, y'all. Here we go. What did I do with the damn story? Is it over here? Let's see. Oh, yeah. A hospital worker, you guys, accused of making meals from human remains. That is crazy as ever. Hold on, let's see. 30 years old in Budapest. They arrested this person. A hospital orderly. Look, this person confessed to exhuming bodies and stealing body parts to cook and to eat them. The police received a tip-off that led to his arrest on June 17th. And they call him Hannibal. They say this man is highly passionate about anatomy and pathology. And he dissected animals all the time. Investigators believe he harvested human remains from his hospital workplace and by digging up graves in abandoned cemeteries. They said during interrogation, the suspect admitted he was attracted to human body parts. And then he confirmed that he prepared and consumed them as food in various ways. This dude had a collection of hidden remains in his apartment. He had a complete lower leg, a human hand, a brain, and multiple skulls. A reconstructed human face prepared directly from facial skin. Sundry skeletal remains packed away inside a suitcase, and a heart, get this, a heart stored inside a jar. Now they are trying to check to see if this is human or animal origin. He also had a prepared human face, facial skin, bones stored in his suitcase. Okay, I already read that. It's just repeating that again. They don't know if that heart was of human or animal origin, but the rest of that stuff is human. So they did confiscate his computers, laptops, tablets, and mobile phones for digital forensics. And then medical and forensics experts are examining all recovered body parts. And once they find out who these people are, they're going to probably have more charges. They have not accused them of murder yet, but it could be. Damn, these people cray. I told y'all. Cray. This man is only 30 years old. And then back in April, a Pennsylvania man, 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach, he was arrested this year after police found over 100 sets of stolen human remains, including children bones and mummified bodies, stashed in his home in storage units. And y'all wonder why people carry weapons. With that being said, you're right. It's psycho. Y'all have a good night. Don't have no scary dreams, honey. And watch where you eat at, shit, and who you be around, because you never know. You never know. And what hospitals you go to. Damn, these people are crazy. Good night, y'all. Have a blessed night and a blessed weekend. And I'll see you guys on Monday with another Shade Steve Late Night Owls Talk Time. Good night, y'all. Peace out. Thanks, Jermaine and Westfield TV.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Mic hot, crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shay walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I let game, back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night with Shay.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. Shay's tube. She back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. Now you thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Good night and sweet dreams. And for everybody who's just getting up, good morning and have a blessed weekend to all of you guys. Good night, y'all.